Good morning to everyone, and today from Ho Chi Minh City, or popularly also known by its former name of Saigon. In this, the final episode of my Vietnam North to South adventure, I'm exploring Vietnam's most dazzling and high-energy city of commerce, entertainment and culture that is driving the country forward with its pulsating energy. Starting my day here at the statue of the former president, Ho Chi Minh, at the Nguyen Boulevard in District 1. Surrounded by fountains and benches that line the street, the more than 7-meter-tall bronze statue of Uncle Ho, as he is commonly called, symbolizes the lasting affection and respect the Vietnamese people have for their founding father, and is therefore one of the most popular and iconic landmarks here in Vietnam. Continuing to walk southeastward on Nguyen Boulevard, I'm deeply impressed by how large and beautiful this boulevard is. It's connected from the headquarters of the City People's Committee building side, to the Bac Dang Pier, at the other end at the Saigon River, which is around 1.2 kilometers in walking distance. Lined up on both sides with new high-rise buildings and famous hotels, it is definitely one of the most modern and impressive streets here in Saigon. In the evening it is also the meeting point of street bands, artists, food vendors, and a large number of people enjoying the atmosphere, especially with its mist-emitting systems and vegetation, which adds a touch of nature to the whole area and brings it to life. Here we see one of the most attractive old buildings on this boulevard. It's the building number 42 on Nguyen Walking Street. It is the Nguyen Coffee Apartment and one of the best photogenic spots in Ho Chi Minh City. From a 60-year-old building to the coolest address on Nguyen Walking Street, this building number 42 charms visitors at the first look with its glorious history, formerly during the Vietnam War. Housing many top-ranking government officers, as well as countless American military advisors, thanks to the central location. I have been told that the Nguyen Walking Street history goes way back to the 1800s. Originally, the avenue was a canal linked to Saigon River and was called Kin Lan or the Grand Canal. It was completely transformed into a boulevard during the mid-late 19th century, and after that, the city's government decided in 2014 to reconstruct the entire boulevard into Nguyen pedestrian street. Walking for over 1 kilometer, I am now arriving at the Bac Dang Pier, at the other end of the Nguyen Walking Street, on the Saigon River. Here I can see the famous Hotel Majestic Saigon, on the other side of the street, overlooking the pier. The hotel was owned by one of the richest Chinese businessmen in Saigon at the time. It opened its door in 1925 and ever since. It is the first 5-star hotel to be managed by Vietnamese hoteliers and known as the Hotel of Heritage. I am now continuing into Dong Quoi Street, which combines the best of both worlds. Here I can see French Colonial architecture, standing right next to posh skyscrapers. And lined up with international boutique brand names, quaint cafes, and high-end restaurants and the Saigon Opera House. Going further I would cross the Central Post Office and the Notre Cathedral, but that will be later. Although famous for its history, Dong Quoi Street has undergone many changes. During the French colonization, from the late 1800s until 1954, it was the epicenter of power, and it was known as Le Roi Cadenet, but today, the Dong Quoi Street has become the center of Ho Chi Minh City's commercial activity, as well as the melting point for tourists and locals alike. This is the famous Saigon Opera House, just next to the Hotel Continental Saigon, and across I can see the soon-to-be-opened Mandarin Oriental Hotel at the Union Square. The spectacular Opera House is gracing the intersection of Dong Quoi and El Loi, and is certainly a grand colonial edifice showing off a sweeping staircase and French colonial architecture. It was built in 1897 and is one of the city's most recognizable buildings, capturing the flamboyance of France's Belle Époque, reflecting cultural advances, artistic freedoms and social affluences. Performances here range from ballet dance and operas, to modern dance and musicals. And today I'm very lucky to see some performance rehearsal just right outside the Opera House. passing quickly at the Reunification Palace, which is surrounded by royal palm trees. I have been told the ambience of its deserted halls makes it an eerie and intriguing spectacle as time stood still since the first communist tanks arrived in Saigon in 1975. Now I am at the War Remnants Museum. It is another somber and sad place, but also a must-visit location to better understand the US invasion of Vietnam. The Nguyen Street is already beautiful during the day, but as we can see, it truly comes alive at night. The street is illuminated by thousands of colorful lights that create a magical atmosphere. The fountains dance to the beat of the music, and street performers entertain the crowds with their music and dance performances. And during major holidays or events, Nguyen Street becomes the center of the city's celebrations. The street is decorated with flowers, lanterns, and other decorations, and the atmosphere is electric. It's a wonderful time to be in the city and a great opportunity to experience the local culture and customs. Walking down the boulevard is a truly unforgettable experience as it gives me a glimpse into the city's past and present. It's also a great place to meet locals and experience the local culture. I certainly recommend it as a must-visit destination that should not be missed. Here I am now entering the Bui Vien Walking Street, and when night falls, this street will become the go-to destination for party-loving foreign tourists and the trendy Saigonese young generation, making it a crowded multi-ethnic street with visitors from all over the world. As the most famous Saigon Western street, it is filled with a fast-paced lifestyle, bustling bars and pubs pumping the latest trendy songs into the street. Also perceived as the backpackers' district, as it has many restaurants, coffee shops, hotels, discotheques, pubs and bars. In some of the busiest sections on the weekends there are no vehicles allowed, between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m., so one can enjoy the bustling and lively nightlife, and indulge in a wide selection of different foods, loud music, cool beverages and many more things. Here I am entertained, at one of the many rooftop bars, enjoying the frenetic energy of the Ho Chi Minh cities from high above, and leaving the chaos below. Yes, from the street level, the city seems incredibly chaotic, but there's a quiet beauty when I experience it from above the fray. And surely quite a good number of hotels and skyscrapers have similar rooftop bars and restaurants which offer views of the city's tree-lined boulevards and, if you are lucky, even onto the Saigon River. A bit of Ho Chi Minh history told me that this area was once upon a time part of the Kingdom of Cambodia and that the Vietnamese first gained entry here in the 17th century. Sometimes back in 1859, the town was captured by the French, and in 1862 it was ceded to France by the Vietnamese Emperor Tu Duc. As the capital of Cochinchina, Saigon was transformed into a major port city in a metropolitan center of beautiful villas, imposing public buildings, and well-paved, tree-lined boulevards. Railway lines running north and south of the city were constructed, and Saigon became the principal collecting point for the export of rice grown in the Mekong River Delta. Fast forward, during the Second Indochina War, or better known as the Vietnam War in the 60s and early 70s, Saigon was the U.S. headquarters of military operations. Until April 30, 1975, when the North Vietnamese troops recaptured Saigon, and renamed it to Ho Chi Minh City. Today the population has reached approximately 9.4 million people and is the largest and most populous city in Vietnam. Arriving at one of the world's oldest and still functioning post office, the Hanoi Central Post Office is one of the oldest buildings in Ho Chi Minh City and a city landmark from the French era. A truly post office classic, designed by Marie-Alfred Faulhaux and built between 1886 and 1891. Here I can see the fascinating historical maps of South Vietnam and Saigon painted on the walls of its grand concourse. While a mosaic of Ho Chi Minh takes pride of place at the end of its barrel-vaulted hall. The amazing fact is that at present, it is still functioning as the central post office of Ho Chi Minh City, with thousands of parcels and letters received and delivered on a daily basis. Although the 14 over 100-year-old telephone booths, lined up 7 to the left and 7 to the right, near to the main entrance, sadly don't work anymore. Here I am staying at the Notre Cathedral, not far from the Central Post Office and in front of the Diamond Plaza shopping mall. The Holy Sanctuary was built between 1877 and 1883, in a red brick, neo-Romanesque style church that truly enlivens the heart of Ho Chi Minh City's government quarter. And here I am back at the People's Committee building with its impressive elegant and aesthetic exterior characteristics of the French colonial architecture, glowing so beautiful in this evening sunset atmosphere. My dear YouTube friends, here I am reaching now the end of my eye-opening Vietnam journey. I call myself very fortunate to have experienced, and getting to know the amazing Vietnamese people and its culture, during this great trip. Covering more than 3,000 kilometers, mostly in VIP sleeper buses and on motorcycles from the far northern parts to the southern parts of Vietnam, in just 30 days of traveling. It definitely exceeded my expectations and dreams and will stay in my memories for a long time to come. Thank you, Vietnam, for all your unforgettable impressions you gave me. And with this amazing sunset here on my last evening of this trip, I thank you all for watching and being part of my journey. Good night and see you in my next adventure, coming up soon.